Hope all is going well for you. Well, this global heat wave is really making people wise up that all of the things we're doing on this earth are not great and that we have a lot of problems. So people are experiencing great heat, and many people are going into heat, stroke, and having other problems. The elderly are getting sick and dying. The people who are ill are getting worse. And people who have to work outside, roofers, gardeners, city workers, police, are all suffering in this heat. It only takes a few minutes outside doing strenuous or even semi-strenuous work, depending on your health, to really find yourself in a bad predicament. So be careful. Carry ice with you if possible. If you see workers and you can offer them some water or some ice, that would certainly be appreciated. A water rinse off is always good to help cool down the body, but these things are all temporary. And when you have an 8-hour job, you need a lot of relief. People working in fields are not getting the relief they need, but they are supposed to be getting some relief, depending on your state. Some states are cutting back on relief for farm workers, but it all depends on your state as to how they're treating the people. Cities that have a lot of concrete are finding that concrete really heats up. Cities with tall buildings, lots of glass, lots of metal, find all that stuff really heats up the air and can magnify the amount of heat being transmitted throughout the city. So people who are working in areas of touristy areas tend to be heavily concreted. Some cities just tend to have a lot of concrete in general. Those cities are going to be even hotter in the areas where the concrete is more expansive. So just be careful. Make sure you cool down during the day. Make sure you visit relatives. Even overnight, a phone call to somebody who you think might be at risk might be helpful, because although cities have these cooling shelters, a lot of the cooling shelters are at places where people can't get to them. There are no buses running at night, or the safety is not there so people can get to them at night and know that they're going to have a place. The cooling shelter might be closed, and you don't want to go out at night and find the shelter closed. So lots of problems with cooling shelters. They may not have enough of them in the city. They may not have the cleanliness that a lot of people want and the privacy that a lot of people want in a cooling shelter. You don't know what you're going to get. So the cooling shelter is a good idea, but a lot of times it's not enough. So make sure you're checking in on neighbors who might need help, or people outside who might need relief from the heat. Whatever you can do that's safe, please consider offering help where you can. This heat streak won't last forever. It probably, where we are now in the end of July, so sometime in the next months we should have relief from this, and this will all be a memory that people will forget until the next time. As we have these high heat levels, of course there's more evaporation of water from the oceans, from pools and so forth, and all of that water goes into the clouds and that helps cause all of these big floods that we see in other areas of the country once the air gets saturated and lets all of that water loose in some other part of the United States or over the ocean. So be careful, take care, talk to your relatives, make sure everyone's doing well, talk to your neighbors, and we'll get through this hopefully healthfully and happily soon. So what do you think? How is the weather in your area and how are you doing? Like and subscribe. Bye.